You've been lied to. Suffering isn't the price of success. It's the consequence of losing your mind under pressure. Elite founders, those that you admire, those that sit at the top of the business chain, don't suffer. Sure, they feel the pain, the pressure, the friction, but they have fundamentally rewired how they relate to it, and thus avoid suffering from it. Because suffering isn't a physiological inevitability, it's just a mental reflex. And like any reflex, you can and you must rewire. The best skill in business is not sales or marketing, is execution, is learning how to do the right thing every single day without getting distracted or doubtful. This is the skill that makes elite founders elite. It's not how much marketing they know, what is their offer, it's how consistently they can execute on what they know. For you to become an incredible operator, you must train your mind for it. And if you don't want to figure this out on your own over many years or decades, you can book at the coding session below. We're going to run you through an analysis to pinpoint the exact cause of you being stuck and give you a proven roadmap to scale yourself. Book your decoding session below. See, pain is inevitable. Deadlines, uncertainty, rejection, but suffering is what happens when you mentally resist that pain by wishing it didn't exist or lacking a deeper purpose to endure it. The science is clear. When you feel the spike of a negative emotion, anger, panic, fear, your body triggers a 90-second hormonal cascade. But those first 90 seconds are inevitably intense, but they're also a window of opportunity where you can either spiral or intervene. The same signal, tight chest, elevated heart rate, can either be mentally coded as I'm overwhelmed or I'm in the arena. And that difference is narrative control. You can remove pain from the path, but you can't remove emotional attachment to it. That's the unlock. Because suffering is just a story you tell yourself about that pain. Pain will never kill you. Your reaction to it might. And the brain is wired for novelty, but also craves meaning. And elite founders give it both by pursuing friction that matters. They chase discomfort and pain because they have learned to crave that signal that most people flinch from. And they're not masochists, they're just trained to see their pain as the path. This isn't intuitive. You need to train yourself for this because when your brain detects pain, it activates the amygdala, which triggers the same stress circuits as physical danger. Elite performers, elite founders train their prefrontal cortex to override that spike. So the moment when the launch fails, when the inbox is a war zone, when the client threatens to leave, they don't spiral. They don't have crazy self-talk. They breathe, they center the mind, and they make the next move with full presence. That is mental mastery. And every elite performer in any arena has this switch. That's the difference between spiraling discomfort and turning it into your fuel. Instead of saying, this is hard, I hate it, you think, this is hard, good, I'm growing. Instead of this is uncomfortable, you say, hey, this is where it counts. Navy SEALs call this mental transmutation. Others call it mental jujitsu. Because when discomfort rises, elite performers zoom out and ask, what is the opportunity here? And that question helps the prefrontal cortex override the fear and pain response. That is tactical emotional control that is going to give you an edge in business. And most people never train it because anyone can push through pain once. Few can endure without suffering. That's what separates the elite from everybody else. Not because they get lost in that pain, but because they're able to transmute it into a positive. They don't glorify that pain. They use it to focus deeper, to move faster, to stay clear. And when emotions hit, they know they have 90 seconds to endure and then a choice to make. And that choice is predicated on 3 skills. The first is metacognition. Learn to observe the story before you react. For example, if you make a mistake, instead of automatically believing the negative thoughts that come to your mind, you pause, you feel them, and you interrogate them. Then, skill number 2, cognitive reframing. Change what the signal means. Example, you find the silver lining. What does this mistake tell you about your system? What's going on? What's the feedback here? How can I pivot? How can I learn from this? And then behavioral automaticity. Pre-program your next move before you feel anything else. For example, you learn from that mistake and you create a new script for the behavior that you will deploy if you go through this situation again. These 3 skills, metacognition, cognitive reframing, and behavioral automaticity, sit at the core of elite performance. This is how you get ahead in business, because the game never gets easier, but you can learn to stop making it harder than it needs to be. And this is not motivation or mindset fluff. This is neurological rewiring. Pain is a signal, suffering is a script that you can flip to also flip the outcome. Rewire your reflex to pain and you won't just scale, you will outlast everybody else who can do this. This is one of the most important skills you ever learn. And if you want to master it within a short few weeks, book out a coding session with us. And if there's a fit and there's slots in the program, we'll love to teach it to you. See you in the next video.